Okay, so I thought that I might give you a little tour of what the collection or curation of the arts ed imperative research looks like. So this is the Omeka site. This is the introduction page. It holds the introduction video as well as the whole team, our MGSE team, Rich, Marnie and Prue, and our overseas UniTwin team. Nothing else really important on that page, I guess. It's the landing page. Most of you know this project pretty well. But the way that we've set it up is that we use this top navigation bar. So clicking over into visiting exhibits allows you to see the 6 spaces that were produced as a part of the research across the 6 months. So you can see the video time capsules that were put out in the speculative assignment, the literature that was done using a critical qualitative inquiry method, and a link there to the Zotero library. The project methods, so the ways in which we went about using digital methods and a new materials theory of pedagogy, which is located in the 2020 presentation that we did at the Canadian Convergence Creative Conference in 2021. The project summary that was presented at the same conference, and there's its YouTube clip, and then the link into the Mozilla Hubs. So Mozilla Hubs became, like this Omeka site, an important play in how we might speculate in new ways about the sustainability of arts-based education and what arts-based educational research actually might look like, speculating on futures and thinking about preferable and plausible futures for arts-based educational research. The invitation to the speculation on futures is also here. So if you scroll back up to the top and head across into the metaverse map, you can actually see the metaverse map here on a kind of game board for you to be able to think about entering into. So what we wanted to do was to build this kind of object-oriented ontology, a semantic ontology, which in the old language of the internet is a kind of a mapping, an entry into the parent and child nodes in the ways that pages were designed. Now, you don't really see that stuff anymore. But for those of us in digital methods, it's a kind of, interesting way to think about the ways that we present information and the pathways into accessing knowledge in digital spaces. So we had to play around with those ideas. We're considering those still in a paper that we are writing at the moment. So you can access the 4 components of the digital project from this game board. And if you scroll back up, you have an opportunity to enter into our collection. So here is the Figshare citation list for you all to use in your publications and to cite the projects. The other thing that's here is an ability to browse through the collections. So all the newsletters that were sent to the research teams, which really do hold some really important aspects of summaries and synthesis of the projects, the publications, and ways that we were beginning to think about this kind of post-digital world that we were living and working in. In using a critical qualitative inquiry, we were really interested in exploring the aspect of the project around decolonization. Was the literature actually beginning to do the work that we said the imperatives were about? What we discovered in these is that realistically, the literature is only coming from very small parts of the world. And so how might we continue to think about places of research as and for sustainability in arts-based research? So you can enter back into those publications and post-digital spaces again. Anytime you're clicking on spaces, it will return you. You can actually, if you wanted to search yourself within the site, it's a workable search engine. And so you would be able to locate where your name might be mentioned to be able to go in and see places that your work sits. So here is a piece of work from Marnie and myself on the Carp Inside Outside project, and people are able to send you messages from in here. There's the citation, the geolocation, so that you can see where that project sits and any attributions. It's a really important way of thinking about doing sustainable research, and rather than using inaccessible or for fee paying sites, to think about using spaces like Omeka that are designed for curatorial and archiving of work, to think about these datas being living, and different ways of providing access to people. This is now open access. Anybody can land on this work just like they can in Figshare, and that then also feeds into your other publications. So hopefully that quick 6-minute tour has been useful. There's so much in here. We really were able to do a lot of work with our artist in resident and our data scientist in resident, and then with Jenny and Netta really leading the project management of the team to develop the two components, the literature as well as the spaces that I was working in with Jess, Netta, and Amanda, to really push the boundaries of what this kind of digital arts-based education research might be, and might continue to be, to speculate on those ways of thinking.